Alright guys, we're back at it again. Yeah, now comes the good fun. After a few schooners and your coordination's feeling at its best, I reckon now's the best time to have a go. Now, make sure you clean all your parts with a good rag or someone's sock. It's probably the neighbour's, it'll do. Check everything's in there. So remember, yeah, I made the mistake the other video. I forgot to show you there's two washers, one either side of the bearing. There you go, like a sandwich. All right, and I'll start putting everything back together. I'm gonna plug up the little hole here so I can keep the brake fluid in there. I just want enough to lube things up. Okay, so just smearing a little bit in there. And over your seal, checking that it's nice and clean. So that's looking pretty good. The seal looks good. Okay, so we'll push that baby in. Looks like she's got a bit of a compression lock going. Alright, well that's a good sign, so we'll pop that off anyway. Push that in, put that back on, make sure that slides nicely in there. Yep, all the way home. Alright, now comes the gear unit. A little bit of oil in there. Okay. Remember, this can go anyway. Alright. The spring, well, you don't have to worry too much about the spring, it's the same either side. So in that goes, and then comes the good part, getting your sandwich in there. Alright, so remember, the washer, the higher side of the ball, there, up, wait, not there, and then your other washer. Then comes your cage. Now a little bit of oil in there. Alright. Okay, now comes the fun part. So we've got to try to get this in there all nice and even, and as well as using this to center the female spline, so as the bearings and all the washers line up and press nice and easily. We'll give it a go. I'll start it off by hand. Okay, so I've gone in about 1/8 of an inch. And just making sure in there, see, making sure that your bearing hasn't come out, because it's not actually, the washer isn't the full size of the cage. You've still got about a 1/16 of an inch clearance, so they can all step out of line and you'll have dramas with this. That's what was happening before when I pulled it apart. That's how I noticed this was all jammed up. So you can see, you can play around, move it, just make sure it's all working well. And then with a little bit of persuasion or finesse, just start tapping it down. Now we need something a little bit more solid. So we'll start with that, keeping a nice eye level, and just keep tapping it down until it's happily seated. So the inner gear sort of lines up flush with that last washer. I'm just checking everything to make sure it's still centered. Still looks pretty good. Now where I'm putting the little screwdriver is right in those ridges there. So you see you have a few sections, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, I think it is, or 5 or whichever. So yeah, I'm just using them. I'm going across like that and then left to right. Sort of just keep an eye height, just to make sure that that's still level with the crown. Slowly, slowly. And you'll get it in there. No rush. And just to keep trying it out to make sure it's all working. Yep. The ratchet, everything's still moving well, which is a good sign. Okay. I wonder if there's a special tool for this. Thank God for screwdrivers. Okay, you know, you can see we're sort of stepping out of line a bit here. So, move it over. A little bit better. Well, we're getting there. It's nearly home. I got probably that high side to bring down. A little bit more here. Okay, we'll have a look. Do we have any high sides? Yeah, still this edge might go down a little bit more. Okay. It's not looking too bad, I suppose. And that there, stick it in, move it around. Okay. Put a little bit of brake fluid in there. Just make sure everything's working right. Okay, a bit tight with the hand, but we'll check with the spanner. Aha, beautiful. So the ratchet system's still working. That's good. Push the piston out, swing back. Push the piston out. Beautiful. So keep an eye on that. Keep everything all lubed up. Let's try again. Beautiful. Piston out. Well, there you go, guys. That is how simple it is. So if you're finding that this mechanism's not working here, it's probably full of gunk and dirty and all that sort of stuff. Now you know how to pull it apart, clean it, and get it all working again. And if it doesn't work, I suppose throw it in the bin. These remanufactured ones are cheap. Alright guys, thank you.